Hi, my name is Wayne Dyer.
You are not what you have. You are not what you do. You are not even what people think you are. You are what you think you are, and right now, in this very moment, you have the power to change everything about your relationship with abundance, prosperity, and wealth. The energy that surrounds you, the invisible field that some call your aura, is broadcasting a signal every single second of every single day. That signal is either attracting wealth into your life or pushing it away. And here's the beautiful truth that will set you free. You get to decide what that signal says. Most people spend their entire lives believing that wealth is something outside of themselves. They think it's in the bank account, in the stock market, in the real estate, in the business deal. But wealth begins inside you. It starts with your consciousness. It starts with the way you see yourself and the way you see the world. If you walk around feeling poor, feeling lacking, feeling like there's never enough, then that's exactly what you're going to create more of in your life. Your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. Change what's happening inside, and you will absolutely, without question, change what's happening outside. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but I have bills to pay. I have debt. I have obligations. I can't just think my way into wealth. And you're right about one thing. Thinking alone won't do it, but thinking is where it starts. Because you cannot behave in a way that's inconsistent with the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, you will find ways to struggle. If you see yourself as someone who is abundant, who is prosperous, who is connected to the infinite source of all supply, then you will start to behave in ways that are consistent with that vision. And that's when everything changes. Your aura, this energy field that extends from your body, is like a radio station. It's broadcasting a frequency, and the universe responds to that frequency. If you're broadcasting fear, anxiety, and scarcity, you're going to attract more situations that make you feel fearful, anxious, and scarce. But if you start broadcasting confidence, gratitude, and abundance, you're going to start attracting opportunities, people, and circumstances that match that vibration. This isn't mystical nonsense. This is how energy works. This is how consciousness works. This is how life works. Let me tell you something about the universe that most people don't understand. The universe doesn't care about your current circumstances. It doesn't care how much money is in your bank account right now. It doesn't care about your past failures or your present struggles. The universe only responds to the signal you're sending out right now, in this present moment. And that signal is determined by your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. If you want to train your aura to attract wealth, you have to start by changing the conversation you're having with yourself about money. Listen to the words you use when you talk about wealth. Do you say things like, I can't afford that? Do you say, money doesn't grow on trees? Do you say, rich people are greedy? Every single one of those statements is training your aura to repel wealth. Every single one of those beliefs is broadcasting a signal that says, I don't want prosperity. I don't deserve abundance. Keep money away from me. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, says, your wish is my command, and keeps wealth at arm's length. But what if you started saying different things? What if you started saying, I am open to receiving wealth from expected and unexpected sources? What if you started saying, there is more than enough for everyone, including me? What if you started saying, I am worthy of prosperity and abundance? Do you feel the shift in energy when you say those words? That's your aura changing. That's your frequency rising. That's your signal getting clearer and stronger. Now, let's talk about gratitude, because this is one of the most powerful tools you have for training your aura to attract wealth. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're telling the universe, I recognize the abundance that's already in my life. And when you recognize the abundance that's already here, the universe sends you more things to be grateful for. This is the law of attraction in its purest form. Like attracts like. Abundance attracts abundance. Gratitude attracts more reasons to be grateful. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think they'll be grateful when they have more money. They think they'll feel abundant when the bank account grows. They think they'll relax about finances when all the bills are paid. But that's backwards. You have to feel grateful now. You have to feel abundant now. You have to feel prosperous now with exactly what you have in this moment before The universe can bring you more. If you're waiting to feel good about money until you have more of it, you're going to be waiting forever. Because the feeling comes first, and then the manifestation follows. So right now, stop and think about what you're grateful for. Maybe it's the roof over your head. Maybe it's the food in your refrigerator. Maybe it's the ability to read these words. Maybe it's the fact that you woke up this morning with another chance to create the life you want. Whatever it is, feel it. Really feel the gratitude in your body. Let it fill your chest. Let it radiate out from your heart. That feeling, that's the beginning of training your aura to attract wealth. That feeling is changing your frequency right now. Let me share something with you that changed my entire relationship with money. I realized that the universe is abundant by nature. Look around you. Nature doesn't do scarcity. When an apple tree produces apples, does it produce just enough? No, it produces hundreds of apples, and each apple contains dozens of seeds, and each seed can produce another tree that produces hundreds more apples. That's abundance. That's the nature of the universe. Scarcity is a human invention. Scarcity is a belief system that we've been taught, that we've inherited, that we've accepted as truth. But it's not true. There is more than enough. There always has been. There always will be. When you align yourself with this truth, when you really get it in your bones that the universe is infinitely abundant, your entire energy field shifts. You stop competing. You stop hoarding. You stop operating from fear. You start operating from trust. You start operating from faith. You start operating from the knowing that there's plenty for everyone, and that includes you. This shift in consciousness is what trains your aura to attract wealth. Because when you're not desperate, when you're not needy, when you're not coming from a place of lack, you become magnetic to prosperity. Now, I want to talk about something that might be uncomfortable for some of you, but it's essential if you want to transform your relationship with wealth. You have to look at your beliefs about rich people. You have to look at your beliefs about money itself. If you have any resentment toward wealthy people, if you think that money is the root of all evil, if you believe that you have to sacrifice your integrity to become prosperous, then you are sabotaging your own abundance. Because how can you attract something that you're judging? How can you become something that you resent? Money is not good or bad. Money is neutral. Money is energy. It's a tool. It's a resource. It amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, money makes you more generous. If you're kind, money makes you more kind. If you're selfish, money makes you more selfish. The money itself isn't the problem. The problem is when people have a poverty consciousness and they think that having money will solve all their problems. It won't. The only thing that will solve your problems is changing your consciousness. Change your consciousness and the money will follow. But more importantly, change your consciousness and you won't need the money to feel whole, complete, and worthy. This is a critical point, so I'm going to say it again. You cannot attract wealth from a place of believing that you need it to be happy, because that belief contains within it the energy of lack. You're saying, I'm not enough without money. I'm not happy without money. I'm not complete without money. And the universe hears that and says, okay, you're not enough, you're not happy, you're not complete. And it gives you more experiences of not being enough, not being happy, not being complete. This is why so many people who come into sudden wealth through lottery winnings or inheritance end up back where they started or worse. Because they never change their consciousness. They never train their aura to match the frequency of true abundance. True abundance is an inside job. It's a state of being. It's a way of moving through the world. It's knowing that you are connected to the source of all supply, and that source is infinite. When you know this, really know this, you don't grab at money. You don't chase it. You don't obsess over it. You allow it. You welcome it. You receive it with grace and gratitude. And here's the paradox. When you stop chasing money, it starts chasing you. When you stop making it your God, it starts showing up as your servant. Let's talk about the practical side of this, because I know some of you are thinking, this all sounds good, but what do I actually do? Here's what you do. You start each day by setting your intention. Before you get out of bed, before you check your phone, before you start worrying about all the things you have to do, you take a few moments to align your energy with abundance. You say to yourself, I am open to receiving all, the good that the universe has for me today. I am a magnet for prosperity. I expect miracles. I expect synchronicities. I expect abundance to flow to me in expected and unexpected ways. Then throughout your day, you pay attention to your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking thoughts of lack, thoughts of fear, thoughts of I can't afford this or there's not enough, you stop. You don't judge yourself. You don't beat yourself up. You simply notice the thought and then you choose a different thought. You say, that's an old pattern. That's the old me. The new me thinks differently. The new me knows that there's more than enough. The new me trusts in the abundance of the universe. This takes practice. You've been thinking the old thoughts for years, maybe decades. You've been running the old programs for so long that they feel normal. But they're not serving you. They're keeping you stuck. And the beautiful thing is that you can change them. Right now, in this moment, you can decide that from this point forward, you're going to train your mind to focus on abundance instead of lack. You're going to train your emotions to feel prosperous instead of poor. You're going to train your aura to broadcast a signal of wealth instead of scarcity. And here's something else you need to understand. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you want to attract wealth, you have to become the kind of person who has wealth. You have to think like that person. You have to feel like that person. You have to act like that person. This doesn't mean you go out and spend money you don't have. This doesn't mean you pretend to be someone you're not. This means you align your consciousness with the consciousness of abundance. You start seeing opportunities where you used to see obstacles. You start seeing possibilities where you used to see problems. You start seeing abundance where you used to see lack. One of the most powerful ways to train your aura to attract wealth is to give. Now, I know this seems counterintuitive. You're thinking, I don't have enough for myself. How can I give to others? But giving is the ultimate statement of abundance. When you give, you're saying to the universe, I have more than enough. I trust that more is coming. I know that I'm connected to an infinite source. And the universe responds to that faith, to that trust, to that knowing. It says, yes, you are abundant. Here's more. This doesn't mean you give away money you need for rent or food. This means you give from a place of joy, from a place of overflow, even if that overflow is small. Maybe you give $1 to someone who needs it more than you do. Maybe you give your time to a cause you believe in. Maybe you give a genuine compliment to a stranger. Maybe you give a smile to someone who looks like they're having a hard day. Every act of giving raises your vibration. Every act of generosity trains your aura to attract more abundance. And when you give, pay attention to how you feel. If you feel resentful, if you feel like you're giving because you should or because you have to, then that's not true giving, that's obligation. True giving feels good. True giving feels expansive. True giving makes you feel more abundant, not less. When you can give with that feeling, when you can give with joy and gratitude, you're broadcasting a powerful signal to the universe. You're saying, I am prosperous, I am abundant, I have more than enough to share. And that signal attracts more prosperity, more abundance, more wealth. Now, let's talk about your relationship with receiving. This is just as important as giving, maybe even more important. A lot of people are terrible at receiving. They can give all day long, but when someone tries to give to them, they get uncomfortable. They say, oh, you didn't have to do that. They say, oh, that's too much. They say, I can't accept this. Every time you reject a gift, every time you refuse a bed, compliment. Every time you make it hard for the universe to give to you, you're training your aura to repel wealth. You're saying, I'm not worthy. I don't deserve this. Keep it away from me. If you want to attract wealth, you have to learn to receive with grace. When someone gives you a compliment, say thank you. Don't deflect it. Don't downplay it. Just receive it. When someone offers to buy you lunch, let them. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't immediately offer to pay next time. Just receive it with gratitude. When the universe sends you a gift, whether it's a parking space right in front of the store or a check in the mail you weren't expecting, receive it. Say thank you. Feel the gratitude. Let yourself feel worthy of receiving good things. This is training your aura. This is raising your frequency. This is broadcasting to the universe that you are open to receiving abundance in all its forms. And here's what happens when you get good at receiving. The universe gives you more to receive. Because the universe loves a grateful receiver. The universe loves someone who can accept good things without guilt, without shame, without feeling like they don't deserve it. When you can receive with an open heart, you're telling the universe, yes, I'm ready for more. Yes, I can handle more. Yes, I deserve more. Let me tell you about the power of expectation. What you expect in life is what you tend to get. If you expect things to be hard, they will be hard. If you expect people to disappoint you, they will disappoint you. If you expect to struggle with money, you will struggle with money. But if you expect abundance, if you expect prosperity, if you expect wealth to flow to you easily and naturally, then that's what you'll experience. Your expectations create your reality. They shape your perception. They direct your attention. They determine what you notice and what you miss. So ask yourself right now, what do I expect when it comes to money? Do I expect to struggle? Do I expect to just get by? Do I expect to barely make ends meet? Or do I expect to prosper? Do I expect to thrive? Do I expect wealth to come to me in wonderful and unexpected ways? Your honest answer to this question will tell you everything you need to know about why your financial life looks the way it does. And the good news is, you can change your expectations right now. You can decide right now that from this point forward, you expect abundance, you expect prosperity, you expect wealth. And when you change your expectations, you have to change your self-talk. The words you say to yourself matter. They matter more than the words anyone else says to you. Because you're with yourself 24 hours a day, you're listening to your own voice constantly. And if that voice is saying, I'm broke, I'm poor, I never have enough, money slips through my fingers, I'm not good with money, then that's the reality you're creating. That's the signal you're broadcasting. That's what your aura is attracting. But what if you started saying different things to yourself? What if you started saying, I am prosperous. Money flows to me easily. I am a money magnet. I am aligned with the energy of abundance. I am worthy of wealth. I am capable of managing large sums of money. I am financially free. How different would that feel? How different would your energy be if you talked to yourself this way every single day? Your aura would transform, your frequency would rise, your entire experience of life would change. Here's something most people don't realize about wealth. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And more importantly, it's about your consciousness around money. I've known people who make millions and feel poor. I've known people who make very little and feel rich. The difference is consciousness. The difference is how they see themselves. The difference is the story they tell themselves about money and about their relationship with it. You can have all the money in the world and still have a poverty consciousness. Or you can have very little money and have an abundance consciousness. Which one do you think attracts more wealth? The abundance consciousness always wins. Always. Because it's not attached to the outer circumstances. It knows that abundance is a state of being, not a state of having. It knows that true wealth is about feeling full, feeling satisfied, feeling like you have enough and you are enough. When you operate from that place, when you move through the world with that consciousness, you become magnetic, you attract opportunities, you attract the right people, you attract the right circumstances, you attract wealth. Now, I want to address something that stops a lot of people from attracting wealth: guilt. So many people feel guilty about wanting money. They feel guilty about wanting nice things. They feel guilty about wanting to live comfortably. They think that wanting wealth makes them materialistic or shallow or selfish. And this guilt is like poison to your aura. It contaminates your energy field. It sends mixed signals to the universe. On one hand, you're saying you want wealth. On the other hand, you're saying you shouldn't want wealth. And the universe gets confused. It doesn't know which signal to respond to. So it responds to the stronger signal, which is usually the guilt, the shame, the belief that you don't deserve it. Let me make this clear. There is nothing wrong with wanting wealth. There is nothing wrong with wanting to live in a beautiful home, drive a nice car, travel the world, give generously to causes you believe in, provide for your family, and live a life of comfort and ease. The only question that matters is, why do you want these things? If you want them because you think they'll make you better than other people, if you want them because you're trying to fill a hole inside yourself, if you want them to prove something to someone, then that's coming from ego. That's coming from lack. And that won't lead to true fulfillment. But if you want wealth so you can live your purpose more fully, if you want it so you can serve more people, if you want it so you can enjoy this beautiful life and share your joy with others, If you want it so you can be a living example of what's possible when you align with the abundance of the universe, then that's coming from spirit. That's coming from your highest self. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, the world needs more people who are comfortable with wealth, who can handle wealth, who can use wealth as a tool for good. So release the guilt, release the shame, release the belief that wanting wealth makes you a bad person. It doesn't. What makes you a good or bad person is what you do with the wealth once you have it. And I'm going to trust that if you're listening to these words, if you're open to this message, then you're the kind of person who would use wealth in beautiful ways. You're the kind of person who would be generous. You're the kind of person who would make a positive difference in the world. So let yourself want wealth. Let yourself desire abundance. Let yourself feel worthy of prosperity. Your worthiness is not something you earn. It's not something you have to prove. You are worthy simply because you exist. You are a divine expression of the infinite universe, and the universe wants you to thrive. The universe wants you to prosper. The universe wants you to experience abundance in all its forms. The only thing standing between you and the wealth you desire is your belief that you can't have it, or that you don't deserve it, or that it's not spiritual to want it. These are just thoughts. These are just beliefs. And thoughts and beliefs can be changed. Let me share with you a practice that will transform your aura and magnetize you to wealth. Every morning when you wake up, before you do anything else, take a few moments to feel what it would feel like to already have the wealth you desire. Don't think about it. Don't visualize it. Feel it. Feel what it would feel like to check your bank account and see a number that makes you smile. Feel what it would feel like to pay your bills without stress. Feel what it would feel like to buy something you want without having to check the price. Feel what it would feel like to be generous without worrying about your own needs. Feel what it would feel like to be financially free. Really get into that feeling. Let it fill your entire body. Let it radiate from your cells. Let it expand beyond your skin and fill the space around you. That feeling is changing your aura right now. That feeling is raising your frequency. That feeling is broadcasting a signal to the universe that says, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am prosperous. And the universe, which always responds to your frequency, starts arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities to match that feeling. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is how energy works. This is how consciousness creates reality. And then, throughout your day, come back to that feeling as often as you can. When you're stuck in traffic, feel wealthy. When you're doing mundane tasks, feel prosperous. When you're interacting with people, feel abundant. The more you can stay in that frequency, the faster you'll see changes in your outer world. Because your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world. Always. No exceptions. Now, I want to talk about action because some people think that this is all just about sitting around and feeling good and waiting for money to fall from the sky. That's not what this is about. Feeling good is essential. Raising your frequency is essential. Training your aura is essential. But you also have to take inspired action. You have to move when you feel moved. You have to act when you feel called. The difference is that when you're operating from an abundance consciousness, your actions are inspired. They're not forced. They're not desperate. They're not driven by fear. They're guided by intuition, by inner knowing, by a sense of rightness. When you're in the right frequency, when your aura is trained to attract wealth, opportunities will present themselves to you. You'll meet the right person at the right time. You'll hear about the perfect opportunity. You'll get an idea that feels exciting and aligned. And when that happens, you have to act. You have to trust. You have to move forward, even if you don't know exactly how it's going to work out. Because the universe rewards action. The universe rewards faith. The universe rewards those who are willing to step into the unknown and trust that they'll be supported. But here's the key. You act from a place of abundance, not from a place of lack. You act because you feel inspired, not because you feel desperate. You act because it feels right, not because you're afraid of what will happen if you don't. This is the difference between hustling and flowing. Hustling is exhausting. It's depleting. It comes from the belief that you have to force things to happen, that you have to make things work through sheer willpower. Flowing is effortless. It's energizing. It comes from the belief that the universe is supporting you, that you're being guided, that things are working out for you. When you flow, you work smarter, not harder. You're in the right place at the right time. You say the right thing to the right person. You have ideas that solve problems in elegant ways. This is what happens when your aura is trained to attract wealth. You become a conduit for abundance. You become a channel through which prosperity flows. And the beautiful thing is that when you're in this state, you don't just attract wealth for yourself, you become a source of abundance for others. You inspire them, you uplift them, you show them what's possible. You become a living example of what it means to be aligned with the infinite abundance of the universe. Let's talk about forgiveness, because this is a crucial piece that many people miss. If you're holding on to resentment, if you're angry at someone who wronged you financially, if you're bitter about past failures or mistakes, you're blocking the flow of abundance. Resentment is like a dam in your energy field. It stops the flow. It creates stagnation. It broadcasts a signal of victimhood, of powerlessness, of life happens to me. And as long as you're broadcasting that signal, you cannot attract wealth. Because wealth requires you to feel powerful, to feel in control of your life, to feel like you're the creator of your reality. So you have to forgive. You have to forgive the person who didn't pay you back. You have to forgive yourself for the financial mistakes you made. You have to forgive your parents for the beliefs about money they passed down to you. You have to forgive the system, the economy, the circumstances that you think held you back. Not because they deserve forgiveness, not because what they did was okay, but because you deserve freedom. You deserve to be free of the weight of resentment. You deserve to have your energy flow freely. You deserve to have a clear, clean aura that can attract all the abundance that's waiting for you. Forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. It's about choosing your freedom over your rightness. It's about choosing your prosperity over your story of victimhood. And when you forgive, when you really let go, you'll feel a shift in your body. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel more open. You'll feel more available for good things to come into your life. That's your aura clearing. That's your frequency rising. That's the dam breaking and the flow resuming. Here's another powerful truth. You are not separate from the universe. You are not separate from the source of all abundance. You are an extension of it. You are an expression of it. The same intelligence that created galaxies and stars and planets and all of life is the intelligence that lives within you. And that intelligence knows how to create wealth. It knows how to attract abundance. It knows how to manifest prosperity. Your job is not to figure out how. Your job is to get out of the way. Your job is to stop blocking the flow with your doubts, your fears, your limiting beliefs, your old stories. Your job is to align yourself with the intelligence that created you, and then let it work through you. This is what it means to train your aura to attract wealth. It's not about learning some technique or trick. It's not about manipulating energy or trying to force the universe to give you what you want. It's about remembering who you are. It's about reconnecting with your source. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of abundance that is your birthright. When you do this, when you really get this, everything changes. Your entire life transforms. Not just your bank account, but your relationships, your health, your sense of purpose, your joy, your peace. Everything elevates because you've elevated your consciousness. And here's what I want you to understand. This is not a one-time thing. This is not something you do once and then you're set for life. This is a practice. This is a way of being. This is a daily commitment to choosing abundance over lack, to choosing trust over fear, to choosing love over judgment. Some days will be easier than others. Some days you'll feel connected and aligned and magnetic. Other days you'll feel disconnected and doubtful and discouraged. That's okay. That's part of being human. The key is to not give up. The key is to keep coming back to the practices that raise your frequency. The key is to be patient with yourself and trust the process. Because the process works. It works for everyone who applies it. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It doesn't matter how much debt you have or how little money is in your account right now. It doesn't matter what your background is or what your education level is or what anyone has told you about your potential. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is your willingness to change your consciousness, your willingness to train your aura, your willingness to align yourself with the abundance that is your true nature. And when you do this, when you really commit to this, you'll start to notice synchronicities. You'll start to notice coincidences that are too perfect to be random. You'll start to notice doors opening that you didn't even know existed. You'll start to notice money coming to you from unexpected sources. Someone will offer you a job. A client will show up. An idea will come to you. An investment will pay off. A debt will be forgiven. Something will happen that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't changed your energy. That's your aura attracting wealth. That's the universe responding to your new frequency. Let me tell you what wealth really is. It's not a number in a bank account. It's not a house or a car or a vacation. Those are just symbols of wealth. True wealth is a state of consciousness. It's the feeling of being enough. It's the feeling of having enough. It's the feeling of being connected to an infinite source that will always provide for you. When you have that feeling, when you live from that place, the outer symbols of wealth follow naturally. They have to. Because the outer world always conforms to the inner world. This is not a maybe. This is not a sometimes. This is always. This is law. This is how the universe works. So stop chasing money. Start raising your consciousness. Stop trying to get wealth. Start being wealthy in your mind, in your heart, in your energy field. Stop looking outside yourself for the answer. Start looking inside yourself for the source. Because the source is there. It's always been there. It's waiting for you to recognize it, to acknowledge it, to align with it. And when you do, when you really tap into that infinite source within you, you'll realize that you've never been separate from abundance. You've never been lacking. You've never been poor. You've just been focused on the wrong thing. You've been focused on what you don't have instead of what you already have. You've been focused on the form instead of the substance. You've been focused on the outer instead of the inner. Turn your attention inward. Feel the abundance that's already within you. Feel the wealth of your being. Feel the prosperity of your spirit. Feel the richness of your consciousness. You are not a body that has a soul. You are a soul that has a body. And your soul is connected to everything, to everyone, to the entire universe. Your soul knows no lack. Your soul knows no limitation. Your soul is pure abundance. When you identify with your soul instead of your circumstances, everything changes. Your aura changes. Your frequency changes. Your life changes. This is the message I want you to take with you today. You are abundant. You are prosperous. You are wealthy beyond measure, not because of what you have, but because of what you are. You are an infinite being, having a temporary human experience. You are a divine expression of the creative force of the universe. You are worthy of all good things. You are deserving of wealth, health, love, joy, peace, and everything else your heart desires, not because you've earned it, not because you've worked hard enough, but simply because you exist, simply because you are. Train your aura to broadcast this truth. Train your mind to think from this truth. Train your heart to feel from this truth. Train your actions to come from this truth. And watch what happens. Watch how your life transforms. Watch how opportunities appear. Watch how money flows. Watch how abundance becomes your natural state. Because it is your natural state, it's who you've always been. You've just forgotten, but now you're remembering. And that remembering is changing everything. The universe is abundant. You are the universe. Therefore, you are abundant. It's that simple. Let go of everything that contradicts this truth. Let go of every belief, every thought, every feeling, every story that says you can't have wealth, you don't deserve wealth, you're not capable of wealth. Those are lies. Those are illusions. Those are programs you inherited from people who didn't know any better. But you know better now. You know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The truth will make you wealthy, not just financially, but in every way that matters. So go forth from this moment with a new consciousness. Go forth with a new energy. Go forth with a new aura that is trained to attract wealth in all its forms. Know that you are supported. Know that you are guided. Know that you are loved by a universe that wants nothing more than for you to thrive. Trust this. Believe this. Live from this. And watch your entire life become a testament to the infinite abundance that is your true nature. You are wealthy. You always have been. You always will be. Now claim it, own it, embody it. And let your aura shine with the unmistakable frequency of prosperity, abundance, and wealth. You are creating your life right now, right this very moment. With every thought that passes through your mind, with every belief you hold, with every assumption you make about yourself and your world, you are literally constructing the reality you will experience tomorrow, next week, next year. This isn't some mystical mumbo-jumbo. This isn't wishful thinking. This is the fundamental truth of how life works, and once you understand it, once you really grasp it at the deepest level, everything changes. Your thoughts are not just random electrical impulses firing in your brain. They are creative forces. They are the architects of your destiny. They are the paintbrush with which you color your entire existence. And here's what most people don't understand. You cannot think about something without beginning to attract it into your life. You simply cannot. It's impossible. Your thoughts are like magnets, constantly drawing toward you the very things, circumstances, and people that match their frequency. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You're saying, but wait, I've thought about having more money my whole life and I'm still broke. I've thought about finding love and I'm still alone. I've thought about being healthy and I'm still sick. And I want to address this right now because this is where most people get confused, and it's where the real teaching begins. When you say you've been thinking about money, what have you really been thinking? Have you been thinking, I have abundance, I am prosperous, wealth flows to me easily? Or have you been thinking, I don't have enough, I'm always struggling, money is hard to come by, rich people are greedy, I'll never get ahead? You see, there's a massive difference. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. You attract what you think about most of the time. And if what you're thinking about most of the time is the absence of what you want, then that's what you're going to keep getting more of. The universe doesn't hear your words. It doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your vibration, to the energetic signal you're sending out through your consistent thoughts and feelings. When you think a thought of lack, when you focus on what's missing, when you complain about what's wrong, you are sending out a signal that says, more of this, please. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom and perfect law, delivers exactly that. But here's the beautiful part, the part that should fill you with hope and excitement right now. You can change this. You can change it right now, in this very moment. You don't have to wait for circumstances to change. You don't have to wait for someone to give you permission. You don't have to wait until you have more education or more resources or more time. You can start right now by simply becoming aware of your thoughts and consciously choosing new ones. This is what the law of attraction really means. It means that you are a living magnet. Every single thought you think is creating your future. Every single belief you hold is either opening doors for you or closing them. Every single word you speak is either blessing your life or cursing it. And the most powerful thing about all of this is that you get to choose. You have free will. You have the power to direct your thoughts, and therefore you have the power to direct your life. Let me tell you something that changed my life when I finally understood it. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are not your current bank balance or your current relationship status or your current health condition. You are pure consciousness, pure creative energy, pure potential. And that pure potential is always, always, always available to you. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what's happening today. What matters is what you're thinking right now, because your thoughts right now are creating your tomorrow. I spent years of my life living in reaction to my circumstances. Something would happen and I would react. Someone would treat me badly and I would react. Money would get tight and I would react with fear and worry. My health would falter and I would react with anxiety and stress. And all of those reactions, all of that reactive thinking just kept creating more of the same. It was a vicious cycle and I couldn't figure out how to break free. Then I learned this fundamental truth. You cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. You cannot change your life by continuing to think the same thoughts you've always thought. You have to rise above your circumstances. You have to think from the end result. You have to become, in your mind and heart first, the person who already has what you desire. This is the method. This is the secret. This is what works every single time without fail. You must learn to think from your desire fulfilled, not about your desire. There's a massive difference between these two approaches. When you think about your desire, you are acknowledging its absence. You are creating from a place of lack. You are saying, I want this thing I don't have. And that feeling of not having it is what you're actually creating more of. But when you think from your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of already having it, when you live in your mind as if it's already done, already achieved, already yours, you are creating from a place of abundance. You are sending out a completely different signal. You are telling the universe, this is who I am, this is my reality. And the universe must respond by bringing you circumstances, people, and events that match that reality. Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you want to create more money in your life. Most people approach this by constantly thinking about how much they need money, how they don't have enough, how bills are due, how they can't afford things. Every thought is focused on lack. And what happens? More lack shows up, more bills, more expenses, more reasons to worry about money. But what if you changed your approach? What if, starting today, you began to think from abundance? What if you started assuming the feeling of already having plenty of money? What if you walked through your day feeling prosperous, feeling wealthy, feeling abundant? What if you said to yourself, money comes to me easily and frequently. I am a money magnet. Abundance is my natural state. And what if you really felt these words, really embodied them, really lived as if they were already true? Something miraculous would start to happen. Opportunities would begin to appear. Ideas would come to you. People would show up with offers and possibilities. Checks would arrive in the mail. You would find money in unexpected places. The universe would begin to rearrange itself to match your new vibration, your new assumption, your new way of thinking. This is not theory, this is not speculation, this is law, this is how it works. This is how it has always worked. And the reason most people don't experience this kind of magic in their lives is because they keep thinking the same old thoughts, holding the same old beliefs, telling the same old stories about why they can't have what they want. You have to understand something crucial here. Your thoughts are not neutral. They are either creating or they're destroying. They're either lifting you up or pulling you down. They're either opening possibilities or closing them. There's no middle ground. Every thought counts. Every thought matters. Every thought is either taking you closer to what you want or further away from it. And here's something else that's really important. You cannot monitor every single thought that passes through your mind. You have thousands of thoughts every day, and trying to control all of them would drive you insane. But you can monitor how you feel. Your feelings are your guidance system. Your feelings are telling you what you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, what you're creating. When you feel bad, when you feel anxious, when you feel worried, when you feel angry or resentful or fearful, those feelings are telling you that your thoughts are not serving you. They're telling you that you're focused on something you don't want. They're telling you that you're thinking from lack, from limitation, from fear. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can keep thinking those thoughts and keep feeling those feelings and keep creating more of what you don't want. Or you can stop, take a breath, and consciously choose a different thought. This is where your power lies. This is where your freedom exists. You can always choose a different thought. Always. No matter what's happening around you, no matter what circumstances you're facing, no matter what anyone else is doing or saying, you can always choose what you think about it. And when you choose a better thought, a thought that feels better, a thought that lifts your spirit and raises your vibration, you are literally changing your future in that moment. I want to talk about resistance for a moment because this is where so many people get stuck. They learn about the law of attraction. They understand that their thoughts create their reality. They start trying to think positive thoughts, and then they wonder why it's not working. Why are things not changing? Why is life still difficult? Why do I still have the same problems? The answer is resistance. You're thinking the new thoughts, but you don't believe them. You're affirming abundance, but you feel like you're lying to yourself. You're visualizing success, but your underlying belief is still one of failure and impossibility. And that belief, that resistance, is blocking your good from coming to you. You cannot affirm your way out of a belief system that contradicts what you're affirming. You cannot visualize prosperity while believing you're destined to be poor. You cannot create health while believing that disease is more powerful than wellness. Your beliefs are the foundation. Your beliefs are the soil in which your thoughts either grow or wither. And if you want your new thoughts to take root and produce fruit in your life, you must first change your beliefs. How do you change a belief? You change it by questioning it. You change it by examining where it came from. Most of your beliefs aren't even yours. They were given to you by your parents, your teachers, your culture, your religion, your society. You absorbed them when you were young and impressionable, and you've been living by them ever since without ever questioning whether they're actually true or whether they serve you. Take a belief like money is hard to come by, or you have to work hard for everything you get, or life is a struggle. Where did that belief come from? Did you test it? Did you prove it? Or did you just accept it because someone told you it was true? And more importantly, is it serving you? Is it helping you create the life you want? Or is it keeping you stuck in patterns of lack and limitation? When you start to question your beliefs, when you start to examine them critically, you realize that most of them are just thoughts you've been thinking for so long that they've become hardened into beliefs. And if they're just thoughts, then you can change them. You can choose new thoughts, think them consistently, and create new beliefs that actually support your desires instead of contradicting them. This is the work. This is the real work of transformation. It's not about saying affirmations that you don't believe. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about getting honest with yourself about what you really believe, where those beliefs came from, and whether they're true or helpful. And then it's about consciously, deliberately, consistently choosing new thoughts that align with what you want to create. Let me tell you about the power of assumption. This is something that most people completely miss, and it's one of the most powerful tools you have for creating your reality. An assumption is simply something you accept as true without proof. You assume it. You take it for granted. You live as if it's already a fact. Now, most people are making assumptions all day long without even realizing it. They assume they're not good enough. They assume they'll always struggle. They assume other people are better or luckier or more deserving. They assume their past will repeat itself in their future. These are all assumptions, and they're all creating reality. But what if you started making different assumptions? What if you assume that you are good enough, that you are deserving, that you are worthy of all the good life has to offer? What if you assume that life is working out for you, that everything is always working in your favor, that you're being guided and supported by a loving universe? What if you assumed that your desires are already fulfilled, that what you want is already yours, that it's just a matter of time before it shows up in your physical reality? When you make these kinds of assumptions and you live by them, when you refuse to let circumstances talk you out of them, when you hold to them regardless of what appears to be happening around you, something shifts. Your entire vibration changes, your energy changes, the way you show up in the world changes, and the world must change in response. This is not about denying reality. This is not about being delusional or living in fantasy. This is about understanding that there are many possible realities, many potential outcomes, many different futures available to you in any given moment. And the reality that actualizes, the future that manifests, is determined by the assumptions you hold and the thoughts you think most consistently. You are selecting from infinite possibilities every moment of every day. You're doing it with your thoughts, you're doing it with your beliefs, you're doing it with your assumptions. And most people are selecting by default, by habit, by conditioning, by reacting to what they see around them. But you don't have to do that. You can select consciously, you can choose deliberately, you can decide what you want and then assume it's already yours. I want to talk about gratitude because this is one of the fastest ways to shift your vibration and align yourself with what you want. When you are grateful, when you are truly appreciative, when you are in a state of thankfulness, you are in a state of abundance. You cannot be grateful and be in lack at the same time. It's impossible. Gratitude is the feeling of having, and when you feel like you have, you attract more to be grateful for. This is why I always say be grateful for what you have while you're working toward what you want. Don't wait until everything is perfect to be happy. Don't postpone your joy until some future date when all your desires are fulfilled. Be grateful now. Be happy now. Appreciate what's already in your life, even if it's not everything you want yet. When you practice gratitude consistently, when you make it a daily habit to acknowledge and appreciate the good that's already present in your life, you are sending out a powerful signal of abundance. You are telling the universe, I have so much to be grateful for. More, please. And the universe responds by giving you more things to be grateful for. But when you focus on what's missing, when you complain about what's wrong, when you constantly point out what you don't have, you are sending out a signal of lack. You are saying, I don't have enough, I'm not satisfied, something is wrong here. And the universe responds by giving you more experiences of not having enough, more reasons to be dissatisfied, more things that are wrong. It's really that simple. And yet, most people spend their entire lives focused on what's wrong instead of what's right. They wake up thinking about their problems. They go through their day noticing everything that's not working. They go to bed worrying about tomorrow. And then they wonder why their life isn't getting any better. You have to break this pattern. You have to consciously, deliberately, consistently focus on what's good, what's working, what you appreciate. Even if things are really challenging right now, there is always something to be grateful for. Always. Your breath, your heartbeat, the sun in the sky, a kind word from a stranger, a moment of peace, a belly laugh, a good meal, a comfortable bed. Start there. Start with the simple things. And as you practice gratitude for the small things, you'll begin to notice more and more good things showing up in your life. Your awareness will expand. Your perception will shift. You'll start to see opportunities and blessings that were always there, but that you couldn't see before because you were too focused on problems. Now, let's talk about action, because this is another place where people get confused. They hear about the law of attraction, and they think it means they can just sit on their couch, think positive thoughts, and wait for everything they want to magically appear. That's not how it works. Thoughts create reality, yes, but thoughts also inspire action. And action is how your desires manifest in the physical world. When you're thinking from your desire fulfilled, when you're holding the vibration of already having what you want, you will be inspired to take action. Ideas will come to you, impulses will arise. You'll feel moved to do certain things, to go certain places, to call certain people. And those inspired actions are the bridge between your inner world of thought and feeling and your outer world of physical manifestation. The key is to take inspired action, not desperate action. Inspired action feels easy, natural, exciting. It flows from a place of abundance and certainty. Desperate action feels forced, difficult, stressful. It comes from a place of lack and fear. When you're taking inspired action, you're being guided by your higher self, by the universe, by the creative force that's orchestrating everything. When you're taking desperate action, you're trying to make something happen through force and effort. So pay attention to how your actions feel. If you're pushing and struggling and forcing, stop. You're out of alignment. You're operating from lack and fear. Go back to your thoughts. Go back to your feeling place. Get into the vibration of having what you want, and then wait for the inspired action to arise naturally. This doesn't mean you do nothing. It means you do things that feel good, that feel right, that feel aligned. You follow your excitement. You trust your intuition. You take the next step that presents itself without needing to see the whole staircase. You move forward with faith and trust, knowing that as long as you're holding the right vibration, as long as you're thinking from your desire fulfilled, the universe is arranging everything behind the scenes to bring your desires to you. Let me address something else that's really important, the idea of letting go. People often talk about needing to let go of their desires in order for them to manifest. And this confuses a lot of people. They think it means they should stop wanting what they want or stop caring about their goals. That's not what it means at all. Letting go means releasing your attachment to how and when your desire will manifest. It means trusting the universe to deliver it in the perfect way at the perfect time. It means not being desperate or needy about it. It means knowing that it's already yours in the invisible realm and being patient and relaxed as it makes its way into your physical experience. When you're attached, you're in a state of lack. You're focused on not having it yet. You're anxious and worried and constantly checking to see if it's here. And all of that anxiety and worry is actually pushing your desire away because it's lowering your vibration and keeping you in the frequency of lack. But when you let go, when you trust, when you know with absolute certainty that what you want is already yours, you relax, you feel peaceful, you feel confident. And that feeling of confidence and peace is the exact vibration that allows your desire to flow to you easily and effortlessly. Think of it like ordering something online. When you place your order, you don't sit by your front door anxiously wondering if it's going to arrive. You don't check the tracking information every 5 minutes. You don't worry and stress about whether the company is really going to send it. You just know that it's on its way. You trust the process. You go about your life, and when it arrives, you receive it joyfully. That's how you need to be with your desires. Place your order with the universe through your thoughts and feelings. Know that it's on its way. Trust the process. Go about your life feeling good, feeling abundant, feeling grateful. And when your desire manifests, receive it joyfully and gratefully. I want to talk about the importance of living in the end. This is one of the most powerful techniques for manifesting anything you want. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. It means thinking from the end result instead of about the end result. It means being in your mind and heart the person who already has what you desire. Most people make the mistake of constantly thinking about what they want. They visualize it, they affirm it, they talk about it. But all of that thinking about it actually reinforces its absence. It keeps them in the vibration of wanting, which is the vibration of not having. When you live in the end, when you think from your desire fulfilled, you stop wanting it because you already have it. You stop seeking it because you've already found it. You stop trying to create it because it's already created. And that shift in consciousness, that shift in your internal state, is what allows the external manifestation to occur. Let me give you another example. Let's say you want to manifest a loving relationship. Most people in this situation spend their time thinking about how lonely they are, how they wish they had a partner, how they're tired of being single. They might visualize meeting someone. They might make lists of qualities they want in a partner. They might go on dating apps and actively search. And all of this is fine, but if it's coming from a place of lack, if the underlying feeling is, I'm alone and I don't want to be, then they're creating more aloneness. But what if you lived in the end? What if you started assuming right now that you already have the perfect partner? What if you went through your day feeling loved, feeling cherished, feeling like someone special is thinking about you and caring about you? What if you slept at night imagining your partner beside you? What if you made decisions as if you were already in a committed relationship? This is not pretending. This is not being fake. This is consciously choosing the state of consciousness you want to live in. And when you live in this state consistently, when you make it your dominant vibration, the universe must bring you someone who matches that vibration. It's law. It cannot not happen. The same principle applies to anything you want. Health, wealth, success, freedom, joy, peace. Whatever it is, stop thinking about it and start thinking from it. Stop wanting it and start being it. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and live there as much as you possibly can. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about when reality contradicts what I'm trying to believe? What about when I look at my bank account and see no money? What about when I look in the mirror and see the illness or the weight? What about when I see the empty space where the relationship should be? This is the real challenge, isn't it? This is where most people give up. Here's what you need to understand. Your current reality is the result of your past thinking. It's old news. It's already created. It's done. And if you keep looking at it, if you keep focusing on it, if you keep using it as evidence of what's possible for you, you will just keep recreating it. You'll stay stuck in the same loop forever. You have to be willing to turn away from your current reality and focus instead on your desired reality. You have to be willing to ignore what your physical senses are telling you and focus on what you want to be true. You have to be willing to live in your assumption even when everything around you seems to be saying it's not true. This takes courage, this takes faith, this takes persistence. But this is how you break free from old patterns. This is how you create something new. This is how you become the conscious creator of your life instead of a victim of circumstance. You're not denying what is. You're simply refusing to give it your attention and your power. You're refusing to let it define what's possible for you. You're choosing instead to focus on what you want, to assume it's already yours, to live in that reality in your mind and heart until it manifests in your physical world. And here's the beautiful thing. The more you do this, the easier it gets. The more you practice thinking from your desire fulfilled, the more natural it becomes. The more you choose thoughts that feel good, the better you feel, and the more good things show up in your life. It's a beautiful upward spiral that just keeps getting better and better. Your dominant thoughts create your life. The thoughts you think most often, the beliefs you hold most strongly, the assumptions you make most consistently, these are what show up as your reality. So if you want to change your reality, you must change your thoughts. You must change your beliefs. You must change your assumptions. And you must do it consistently. You can't think positive thoughts for 5 minutes and then go back to your old patterns for the rest of the day and expect anything to change. You have to make this a way of life. You have to commit to monitoring your thoughts, choosing better ones, and staying in the vibration of what you want as much as humanly possible. This is not always easy. Life will challenge you. Circumstances will test your resolve. Other people will doubt you and try to talk you out of your dreams. You'll have moments of fear and worry and uncertainty. This is all normal. This is all part of the process. The key is not to let these moments derail you. The key is to notice when you've slipped into old patterns of thinking and gently, lovingly guide yourself back to the thoughts and feelings that serve you. Think of it like training a puppy. You wouldn't yell at a puppy for making a mistake. You would gently, patiently, consistently guide it toward the behavior you want. Do the same with your mind. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. But be consistent. Keep choosing better thoughts. Keep assuming the best. Keep living in the end. Keep feeling good. And watch what happens. Watch how your life begins to transform. Watch how opportunities appear. Watch how the right people show up at the right time. Watch how solutions present themselves to problems you didn't know how to solve. Watch how the universe rearranges itself to match your new vibration. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is law. This is how the universe works. This is how it has always worked. Now that you know this, now that you understand this, you can never again claim to be a victim. You can never again say that life is happening to you, because now you know the truth. Life is happening through you, as you, by you. You are the creator, you are the artist, you are the architect of your entire experience. And with this knowledge comes responsibility. You must take responsibility for your thoughts. You must take responsibility for your beliefs. You must take responsibility for your life. No more blaming others. No more blaming circumstances. No more blaming your past or your genetics or your bad luck. All of that is over now. From this moment forward, you are consciously creating your life with your thoughts. This is the most empowering realization you can have. This is true freedom. Because if you created the life you have now with your unconscious thoughts, imagine what you can create with your conscious thoughts. Imagine what's possible when you deliberately, intentionally, consistently focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. The possibilities are literally unlimited. There is no ceiling on what you can create. There is no limit to how good your life can get. There is no dream too big, no goal too ambitious, no desire too outrageous. If you can think it, if you can believe it, if you can assume the feeling of already having it, you can create it. This is your birthright. This is who you really are. You are not a limited human being struggling through a difficult life. You are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. You are connected to the creative power of the entire universe. You have access to infinite intelligence, infinite possibilities, infinite potential. The only thing standing between you and the life of your dreams is your thinking. Change your thinking, and you change your life. It really is that simple. Not always easy, but simple. The formula is clear. The method is proven. Think about what you want, not what you don't want. Assume the feeling of already having it. Live in the end. Be grateful. Take inspired action. Trust the process. Stay consistent. Do this, and your life will transform. Not overnight necessarily, not always in the way you expect, but it will transform. It must transform. Because you are working with universal law, and universal law never fails. So start today. Start right now. Look at your life and ask yourself, what do I want to create? Get clear on your desire. Feel into it. What would it feel like to already have it? How would you walk through your day? How would you feel about yourself? What would you think about? How would you treat others? Who would you be? Become that person now. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances change. Now. Assume that identity. Step into those feelings. Think those thoughts. Be that version of yourself right now, in this moment, regardless of what your current circumstances look like. And then watch the magic unfold. Watch as the universe begins to deliver people, circumstances, and opportunities that match your new vibration. Watch as doors open that you didn't even know existed. Watch as your life reorganizes itself around your new assumptions and beliefs. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to take control of your mind and therefore take control of your life. You are not here by accident. You are not here to struggle and suffer and merely survive. You are here to thrive. You are here to create. You are here to experience the fullness of life in all its beauty and abundance and joy. Everything you want is already yours in the invisible realm. It exists as potential, as possibility, waiting for you to claim it with your thoughts and feelings. So claim it, assume it, live it, be it, and watch as it manifests in your physical reality in ways that will astound and delight you. You are the creator of your life. You always have been. You always will be. The only question is whether you'll create consciously or unconsciously, deliberately or by default, with intention or by habit. Choose consciousness. Choose deliberateness. Choose intention. Choose to think thoughts that serve you, believe beliefs that empower you, make assumptions that uplift you. This is the method. This is the way. This is how you always get what you think about, not sometimes, not occasionally, always. Because that's how the law works. That's how the universe works. That's how you work. Your thoughts are creative. Your beliefs are powerful. Your assumptions determine your reality. Use them wisely. Use them consciously. Use them to create a life so beautiful, so abundant, so fulfilling that you wake up every day in gratitude and wonder. This is not only possible for you, this is your natural state. This is who you really are when you're not caught up in limiting beliefs and negative patterns. This is your true self, your highest self, your best self. And that self is available to you right now, in this moment, simply by choosing thoughts that align with it. So choose. Choose right now to think a better thought. Choose right now to believe in yourself and your dreams. Choose right now to assume that everything is working out for you. Choose right now to feel grateful and abundant and worthy. Choose right now to live in the end of your wish fulfilled. And keep choosing moment by moment, thought by thought, day by day. Keep choosing until these new thoughts become your new normal, until these new beliefs become your foundation, until these new assumptions become your automatic way of being. This is the work. This is the practice. This is the method that never fails. You always get what you think about. Always. So think about what you want. Think from what you want. Be what you want. And watch your entire life transform before your eyes. You have everything you need within you right now. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The life you desire is yours. Claim it. Own it. Live it. Starting right now, in this very moment, your new life begins with your next thought. Make it a good one. There's something else I need you to understand about this process, something that will make all the difference in how quickly and easily you manifest what you want. You must learn to enjoy the process itself, not just the outcome. Too many people put all their happiness in the future. They say, I'll be happy when I get the money. I'll be happy when I meet the person. I'll be happy when I achieve the goal. And what they don't realize is that this constant postponement of joy is actually blocking their manifestation. Happiness is not a result of getting what you want. Getting what you want is a result of being happy. When you're in a state of joy, when you're feeling good right now for no particular reason, when you're appreciating the present moment rather than always reaching for the next thing, you are in perfect alignment with the flow of the universe. You are open, you are receptive, you are allowing good things to come to you. But when you make your happiness conditional on external circumstances, when you tell yourself you can't feel good until something changes, you are actually creating resistance. You are blocking the very thing you want from reaching you. Because remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And if you are someone who is waiting to be happy, you will keep creating more situations where you have to wait. So start being happy now. Find reasons to feel good right now. Laugh more, play more. Do things that bring you joy, not because they're leading somewhere, but because they feel good in the moment. This is not being irresponsible. This is being smart. This is understanding how energy works. This is aligning yourself with the very essence of creation, which is joy, which is love, which is expansion. When you operate from this place of genuine well-being, everything becomes easier. Solutions appear effortlessly. Creativity flows naturally. Relationships improve automatically. Money comes more easily. Your health strengthens. Everything in your life begins to reflect the internal state of joy and appreciation you've cultivated. This is the real secret. This is what Most people miss while they're busy, struggling and forcing and trying to make things happen. Stop trying so hard. Start enjoying more. Trust that when you feel good, you are on the right path and everything you need will find its way to you.